Alright everybody, what's going on? I know everyone's been asking about a studio tour, and so I'm so excited to finally get things started. So we begin by opening up this door right here. Holy shit! Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to submit my full apology here in this video today. I am the reason that this game has received so many delays, and I'll explain why. What you're looking at here is a statue I received during my E3 2018 demo of Cyberpunk 2077. It was in a box for a while. When I broke it out of the box moving into this studio here, some of the mantis blades broke off our lovely little lady here. And since then, the game has suffered 3 delays. So this is on my shoulders. I apologize. I will buy a new figure. It will remain in its box, and the game will release. I promise you that. Thank you. So it looks like Cyberpunk wore its Elden Ring costume this Halloween. Wow, what a disappearing act. Oh my. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is not a meme. The game has been delayed again. Seriously, when I was being tagged on Twitter by a couple of you out there, I saw the yellow background and thought, old post, someone's trolling me. This isn't real, fake account. So I saw the yellow and went, oh, Then I saw the check mark next to Cyberpunk's Twitter account and went, oh no. And then I read the first sentence and went, oh no, they're doing it again. They're actually doing it again, man. It's actually insane. I can't believe it. This is the 3rd major delay this game has suffered. It got delayed out of April. It got delayed out of September. Now it's been delayed out of November. It feels like the game is so far away. And just when I personally, if you watch some of my recent videos, was really buying into the hype, like, it's here, man, here we go. And suddenly it's gone. It just fell through the cracks of my hands here. When will we get our hands on this game? Hopefully December, right? Hopefully December. But we got to read the letter first, talk about it, and continue our discussion. So let's get to reading the forsaken yellow wall of text. Hey everybody! Today we decided to move the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 by 21 days or 3 weeks. The new release date is December 10th. Most likely, there are many emotions and questions in your head, so first and foremost, please accept our humble apologies. The biggest challenge for us right now is shipping the game on current gen, next gen, and PC at the same time, which requires us to prepare and test 9 versions of it: Xbox One/X, compatibility on Xbox Series S/X, PS4 Pro, compatibility on PS5, PC, Stadia, while working from home. Since Cyberpunk 2077 evolved towards almost being a next-gen title somewhere along the way, we need to make sure everything works well and every version runs smoothly. We're aware it might seem unrealistic when someone says that 21 days can make any difference in such a massive and complex game, but they really do. Some of you might also be wondering what these words mean in light of us saying we've achieved Gold Master some time ago. Passing certification or going gold means the game is ready, can be completed, and has all content in it, but it doesn't mean we stop working on it and raising the quality bar. On the contrary, this is the time where many improvements are being made, which will then be distributed via a day 0 patch. This is the time period we undercalculated. We feel we have an amazing game on our hands and are willing to make every decision, even the hardest ones, if it ultimately leads to you getting a video game you'll fall in love with. Okay, so first and foremost, before I deliver my opinion, if you were upset about this delay that's happening yet again, I'd like to validate your emotions here today, because I think it is totally understandable to be upset, frustrated, angry at CD Projekt Red for this. Does that mean that you don't fundamentally understand that the delay will make the game better? No, but you're allowed to be upset. A lot of people in the games industry say that, hey, when a delay happens, you have no right to be mad because it's going to lead to a better game. That is true, but CD Projekt Red went through and through multiple times on social media to assure people that the game was coming out in November. They said, no more delays. It's happening. Like, read it here. No more delays. You can't write this stuff, man. And then they said they wanted to go back and delete the tweet. I can't, man. It was a good way of handling it, quite honestly. And it's clear that there is a dysfunction in communication with CD Projekt Red. The social team, they're doing their thing, man. They were encouraging the audience. They were communicating properly. They were hyping up the product. They were doing their job, right? And I'm the first to call out communication issues with CD Projekt Red, but they were doing their job. It's clear higher up knew that there would be another delay, did not communicate that to the social team, who was then spitting out everywhere that the game would not be delayed and it was actually going to come out. And so they look foolish in turn, but I really don't think it falls on them. They're not involved in the deep managerial decisions. But to my ultimate points here, if you are upset, that is okay. If you took time off for this game, which many of my audience did, and I know many other people out there who don't even watch my videos did, a lot of people are very, very excited for this game, so I totally understand the frustration of spending those vacation days, having them locked in, and then all of a sudden, boom, the game got moved. Like, I totally 100% get that, and it's okay. You're allowed to be upset because this has happened a lot. The other question that's been brought up by a lot of people, and I think is totally fair to talk about, is being so enamored with perfection that the game really doesn't make its way out. I'm not one of those doom and gloom people. I know the game will make its way out, okay? I know it's going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. The game is going to come out. However, with them being so obsessed with making this perfect product, I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be extremely critical to every single degree visually, sound, cars, gunplay, questing, choices, replayability, post-launch content, any slip up they make, because they have created this perception of perfection will now be cranked down on by a lot of people. And so sadly, that's going to create a very strange dichotomy, creating two groups of people. One group will say everything is perfect, everything is okay, don't you dare say anything about CD Projekt Red. And the other group will say overrated bunch of people, why do people like them, etc., etc. So that is what's going to happen, man. And that's why I respect and I love that they want to get this right. That's so important. It's so undervalued. It's so undermined that people actually care about the quality of the product when they release. Look, I don't forget about releases that just happened a couple of months ago, like Avengers. Avengers was a travesty, and it was a game that could have been much, much better if it took the amount of delay Cyberpunk did. So I do appreciate what CD Projekt Red is doing here. When we do get the game, it will be phenomenal. I have no doubt about that. But the issue is that if there is any snag anywhere, people are going to flip. That is the reality, because they have created this, once again, perception of perfection. The letter also brings up testing 9 different versions of the game, including Stadia. Some people think because they're pushing for launch day Stadia, this may have actually had an impact on the overall development of the game. That could be possible. I don't know. That's just pure speculation here. But what's interesting is you look at Ubisoft, who is doing Watch Dogs Legion, next-gen upgrade, all that stuff. They're doing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, next-gen upgrade and all that stuff, alongside many other platforms. And they haven't really used that as an excuse for tons of delays. In fact, Assassin's Creed Valhalla got its release date moved up. Now, everyone's situation is different, but I just want to go ahead and just paint a picture that some developers are handling this work-at-home situation better than others. And it seems like CD Projekt Red still seems to be struggling with this. It still is 2020. Everyone's working from home. We can't gather in big groups like we used to, sadly. And so it seems like they're not handling it as well as other teams. One thing I do appreciate about this note, however, is the public explanation of what going gold is, because so many people don't understand what going gold is, what a gold master is for a game. So thank you, CD Projekt Red, for that. More people are informed about a little bit of game development that a lot of Twitter accounts put out there, but no one really knows exactly. So I'm happy that they've clarified for the people who don't know. Let's talk about the future of the development of the game, right? It's been pushed back. We talked about overtime with CD Projekt Red, and that's continued to be a topic. Now more time for the game to be worked on. Does that mean more time for the people in the office? Does this mean that they are actually going to work a little more comfortably? Well, according to Jason Schreier, that does not seem to be the case. So I know when I talk about this topic, the videos seem to get a little bit more dislikes because people get really aggravated. All I'm saying, man, is I'm just the messenger, and I'm going to give my opinion. Jason Schreier says Cyberpunk 2077 getting a 3-week delay is unusual, but probably won't change much for developers, many of whom were going to be crunching into December anyway for a post-launch patch. But I sure do hope reality is becoming clearer for those who tried to deny it. He follows this up by saying, look, a CD Projekt Red dev told me recently that they just clocked a 100-hour work week. Another former dev just told me that they saw some of their friends there and they looked physically ill. So GTFO with the but I work long hours to responses. All right, so I don't like the approach personally of it's one or the other. Like, if you're a UPS truck driver and you're working till 9 p.m. and you got to get up at the crack of the dawn next day because it's the holiday season and you're grinding away, I think your argument is just as valid as someone working a 100-hour week for Cyberpunk 2077. I think both are valid. I don't think one cancels out the other. That's just my take, man. Like, I don't think that's reasonable. at all. I think the work conditions in CD Projekt Red should be better, but also that doesn't cancel out people who bust their butt. I think more importantly, however, is this question here. When Jason was asked, how many developers do you think just found out today over Twitter? They literally said yesterday there would be no delays. Just like the Reddit post said, seems like the developers don't know what decisions are being made. Jason says all of them found out at the same time we did. CD Projekt Red sent an internal email simultaneously with the public tweet. So for those who don't know, in my recent news dump for Cyberpunk 2077, I covered this Reddit post that you're looking at here. It was a very extensive write-up breaking down an experience from a former CD Projekt Red developer that Jason Schreier had validated, saying that he just got off the phone with this person. And so since then, people have been communicating about what exactly the situation may be in the studio, because one of the things they noted was the lack of communication, where they were finding out after we had found out about things like delays, about changes in content, about the crunch. And that seems to be the case here yet again. Now, I think overtime is one talk. Studio communication, I think it's clear as day that that needs to be improved. We can see it literally with public information, right? They just said how there would be no more delays, not even a day ago. And then the game got delayed. So there's so many teams that are just all collectively in the dark. It leads to a problem. There needs to be better company-wide communication. That is the fix here, at least on that end. When it comes to overtime, that does need to be better in my opinion. I do think they are making out pretty well. They're going to get substantial bonuses. But the idea is, how far do we want to keep moving back the goalposts, right? People were thinking, oh, well, it's 6 weeks of overtime. Now it's more than that. Does the conversation change there? That is a question that I want to ask, and I want to see how the community responds. For me, I think it does shift the conversation a little bit, because now that 6 weeks has turned into 9 weeks, and yes, they are getting paid handsomely, but imagine being there thinking, okay, I got to make it 6 more weeks, right? That's their standard, right? 6 weeks, and then they're clear, right? They get their big bonus, and things can return to a little bit of normalcy here. And then you find out you got to do 3 more weeks. It's probably agonizing for a lot of people. But at the same time, I 100% understand the eye rolling that happens from a lot of people who work jobs, say during the holidays, that demand overtime, and you don't even get compensated for that. You just work overtime because the company expects that of you, and they don't reward that. Because to some extent, and I've never even worked those types of jobs, I'll be completely honest, right? I've done landscaping and stuff, but that's about the extent of it until I fell into this job here. And I'm even rolling my eyes to some extent at that. So I get it entirely, right? I think that one shouldn't cancel out the other. CD Projekt Red should be better, but it shouldn't invalidate the hard work that, say, once again, I'll use the UPS truck driver as an example, does as well. And you can tell them to shut up because CD Projekt Red is slaving away on a game and they're going to get like a $50,000 bonus. Like, you know, there is a difference there. There's 100% a difference there. Now, for those of you who are invested more deeply in my content, how this impacts things is actually a pretty positive thing, because November was looking really like jam-packed. It was going to be really tight. I'm in the process of reviewing Watch Dogs Legion. That'll be my next video. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is next. There's obviously next-gen consoles launching in the following month. I want to cover Demon's Souls Remake. It's a big RPG, right? I have an RPG channel for the most part. I want to cover Spider-Man Miles Morales, make a little review for that. I mean, there's so many cool looking games coming out in such a short period of time, and admittedly, Cyberpunk was the focus for me. Cyberpunk was like the big game I had to get my hands on because I am predominantly making RPG content. So to see that it's been moved to December, where that was presumably going to be vacant outside of some videos I was creating in advance over on the Patreon that I'll be releasing for free to all of you in December so I can take some time off. Now things have changed where I have like a true core game to focus on that month. So for me, it leads to a little more diversity. It lets me kind of split the focus a little easier. And I'm sure a lot of companies are feeling that same sigh of relief, you know, who are in November going, thank God, man. Thank God. But yeah, so on my personal side, I kind of take this as a little bit of good news because I can split up my content, give everything good focus now, and not have to worry about like just hopping game to game, like quick review here, and just keep hopping over. I think that alone is great news. So ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this. Once again, another Cyberpunk delay. 3 extra weeks, so we got to be patient a little bit longer, and we'll see if it makes it out then. They're talking about it becoming a slightly next-gen title. I wonder if they go, let's go all next-gen, cancel all the versions and refund them. And God, I doubt it, but still. You never know, right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I leave it in your hands. Let me know what you're thinking. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. Big thank you to all the patrons who continue to support the heck out of the content here. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll talk with you soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.